All right, Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show. We're powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. We got Gunnar Braniecki coming up here in just a moment. Guardian protection, home security, automation, all of those bells and whistles that you want to protect your family, protect your home. Coming up here in just a moment. Before we do, we got a hot listing here at 15900 Oakcrest Circle in Brooksville. This is a property that we've got. We just listed this home, and it's a beautiful property. I like the idea too that he's got a generator, propane generator, tied in directly to the electrical box. I mean, it's just these different aspects that I see of the home security features. 4 bedrooms, 2 bath, 3-car garage, 15900 Oakcrest Circle in Brooksville, Florida. Luxurious jetted garden tub. You have a newer AC system, sprinkler system, generator. Great opportunity to own real estate in Brooksville, Florida. You can see all of our listings, PlatinumCoastalElite.com.
Buy dirt, find one you can't live without.
All right, Gunnar Braniecki, welcome back to the show.
Good afternoon, and thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely. Yep, my pleasure. Let's jump right into it, my friend. Tell us a little bit about what's happening over at Guardian Protection.
Yeah, so, I mean, every time you have me on, we always talk about cameras and the features, advantages, benefits of that. We've even talked about some home automation products. And, I was kind of thinking about kind of to sum those things all up together and how they can be utilized as one is the way you can automate them to tie together. I think of the ways that you can do that. Number one, life safety. If our monitored smoke detector detects a fire in the house, it'll turn off your HVAC system so it doesn't pump smoke throughout your home. Or if you have one of our water sensors, we can actually shut off the water main in your house. If that sensor detects it, you've got a leak at your hot water heater or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, and of course, always coming back to the cameras. The product I love the most is the cameras because I like to have the warm and fuzzy of knowing what's actually going on. When it detects a person, it turns on my floodlights for me because I have automation with my lighting switches as well. So, again, just the many, many different things that you can do and play around and customize these systems to be your very own and do what your family needs.
Yeah, and I hear a lot of people over the years. I've heard that it's the dreaded story where you have the water tank. You have that the hot water heater upstairs on a second level. The homeowners go out of town, and all of a sudden now you got drywall damage. You got a leak. It's leaking through the walls. So you have a solution for that too?
We do. We have water sensors, so you can put it right there by your water heat. Your hot water heater. If it detects that there's a leak there, if it gets tripped by the water leaking out of it, we have another device that would actually be at the water main for your home, and it would turn off that water main for you, so you're instantly stopping the water from seeping out farther than wherever that water sensor detected it at, which, in my eyes would be right next to or underneath of your water heater. So the cost of those devices is less than what your insurance deductible would be. I can promise you that much, right?
Right. Yeah, absolutely, because that can get expensive, especially, a lot of people right now, they're getting hit by this economy. They're saying, hey, how can I save a little bit of money? Well, they're maybe raising their deductibles on their insurance policies, but that's out-of-pocket money that you got to come up with.
Precisely.
So, yeah.
Precisely.
And if you just joined us, we're talking with Gunnar Braniecki, Guardian Protection, our home security and automation expert. And Gunnar, last time you were on the program, I went through my stories. I was just kind of looking through my stories, and I stumbled upon it looked like a little doe, a deer in my front yard, which I had no idea we had deer in our neighborhood, I guess. And I figured out the way they're coming through. There's a little spot where they can come through. But it's so cool just to pull up those stories. You can kind of see the activity around your home. And it's just like a social media story. It just shows you, hey, here's these latest camera activity. And it's just nice to monitor. And like you said, that peace of mind.
Yeah. I mean, and you'd be amazed in the different ways you find to use those cameras. I mean, we have a cleaning service that comes every other week and tidies up our house and gets all the nooks and crannies. And they're able to come into the house using our smart lock. They have their own code, so I know exactly who's coming in, who's using that code, and it disarms the alarm and everything. And we know how long they were there as well. Like, we know that we pay for 2 hours of cleaning, so we know if they were there for 2 hours or if they were a little quicker that day, right? And we can make sure that they did get all the nooks and crannies that we're paying them to clean for us.
Right. Yeah, it's really awesome. I love that idea of just having that protection. I want to cut to a story here. So there's a California new law. Speaking of just crime. I mean, crime in America is causing a lot of issue with people. But there's this new law in California, and I'm going to have Alex throw this up for me. Yep, California. So this was put out by a verified page saying Wall Street Silver. California takes another step towards fully legalizing shoplifting. New law will stop employees from confronting shoplifters. Prosecutors already ignore theft under $1,000. Now, store owners won't even be able to have their security stop it. You can't defend your own property. And this is a story dated on the 6th. California Senate passes bill to stop employees from confronting shoplifters. This kind of stuff is happening in these blue states for the most part, and it's like they have this affinity towards criminals. Criminals are exalted, and if you have it on camera, Gunner, this is stuff that you have it on camera, at least in our state, in Florida, and I know you do a lot of different states. It's interesting to see where this country's headed.
Absolutely, and the brazenness of some of these criminals, I can't really speak to, but I at least know that when I'm a law-abiding citizen, when I'm walking around and I notice a camera, I straighten my back, right? Like I know I'm not doing anything wrong, but it makes me think quickly to make sure that I'm not doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
So, even if you can't stop them, at least to have the cameras, maybe they would second guess what they're doing. If they see a harder target, maybe they will, reanalyze what they're about to do and take it. I hate to say take it somewhere else, but if you invest the effort into preventing it, maybe it can save you a little bit of time and money on the back end.
Right on. Yeah, absolutely. And that's a fact. I mean, that's going to be a deterrent. People are going to see those cameras. And how many states are you covering now?
So we have a pretty good presence up and down the East Coast and into the Midwest. So, Florida, the Carolinas, Delaware, Maryland, Pennsylvania, Ohio, West Virginia, and Texas. I mean, we've got good coverage in all those areas. Yeah,
that's awesome, man. That's awesome. When you think about home protection, what are some of your other top tips? The show's Consumer Quarterback Show. We started this show 10 years ago as a way to serve as a consumer advocate. So what would be some of the other top tips that you've come across in your career in security?
Yeah, so obviously shop around and do what's best for your family, but make sure that whenever you do settle on the product that's going to work for you, make sure that you're doing something that's doing with your best interest at heart, right? We always like to consult with our customers, and just because someone thinks they need every single thing under the sun, the reason we like to come out and we like to walk the grounds with you and hear what your concerns are is because you may be overthinking something, or you may have too much of a need in your mind that is just going to rob your pocket more than you need to. And like you said, with the way that the costs are going up, we want to make you feel protected and safe at a very reasonable rate, right? So make sure that you're doing your due diligence and not just buying something because someone came out and said that you need everything, because not everybody does.
I'll tell you what, firsthand experience that I had, I have a Guardian home protection system on my home, 8 cameras, all connected to my smartphone. First-hand experience, first-class organization, very courteous staff and techs that put in these awesome cameras, and nothing but the best when I think of Guardian protection. Gunner, how do you want people to connect with you?
Yeah, so you can always go to our website, guardianprotection.com. We actually made a special number just for you and your consumers to make sure that they are getting the best deals they possibly can from us. So they can reach us directly at 813-738-9409. And when you guys do call in, please just make sure that you heard about us from the Consumer QB, and we'll take really good care of you.
Excellent. 813-738-9409, guardianprotection.com. Gunner, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
And we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. And we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play.